She said, bless her heart. Ayo, back at it again, doing me peace and love reflections. We here for another episode of Sowful Tunes here on Stereo. Well, we here at 11:11 a.m. Central Time on Mondays of these mindful, motivational, manifesting, materializing Mondays. Whatever you want to call it, check it out. Because them M words to show make something out of you. Peace be upon you, Sister Chocolate. Glad to have you in the room. Again, you guys, my name is JoJo, also known as the Master of Manifestations, and gives a fucks depending on the platform you are on. Link above my head to find out what it is that I do, what it is that I stand for, and how you can be a part of it. If you can't click that link, go on to my profile here on Stereo. Same link, same place, same space. Peace be upon you, Sister Chocolate. How's your sewing day been going?
Peace and wellness. My day is going really good. I've been pretty productive so far and getting things that I need to get done. I'm glad that I'm able to join you for another Soulful Tunes. Let's get in the soul and spirit.
Well, the sowing spirit is upon us because I woke up this morning sowing and growing. We always got different aspects when the day shows up, when the sun is rising into the sky, and I'm always laughing because over here the weather is so sporadic. Like 5 minutes it can be raining, next minute it can be sunny, next minute it can be cloudy, next minute it can be hot, next minute it can be cool. All these seasons can change in one day. And I was awakened with the thought pattern of when are you tired of repeating yourself? When do you stop repeating yourself? Because like the weather, when I used to be in the States, it used to be this is fall, this is summer, this is spring, this is winter. Repeat. You see what I'm saying? Over here, you can have all the seasons except for that cold ass winter. We don't do that over here. But we had that. We don't have that winter, but we have all our seasons jammed into one day sometimes. And it's like if you think about it, nature be tired of repeating itself all the time. Like that's boring. And we spend a lot of our time repeating our actions and it turned into insanity when we repeat the same thing expecting the same results. And then we talking to people, we repeat the same thing to them until we get annoyed by them and then we don't want to be around them no more. When a kid is running around repeating the same song or repeating the same words, we tell them to shut it up. It's getting on our nerve. So the question is, when do you stop repeating yourself? Like, when do you in your mind say, all right, that's enough? How many times of repetition does it take for you to get to that point? Are you aware of that amount? Are you aware of how many times? Let's take it into the sowing level of plants. If you water a plant every day, all the time, at the same time, for say a year, when does that plant say, okay, enough watering? I'm tired of you watering me like this every day. My roots is soggy, my leaves is yellow. I'm not absorbing the nutrients. You've been raining too much. Like, get it together. If a plant can do that until through showing you different aspects of itself, turning yellow, roots dying, it wilters, whatever it look like, right? If a plant can do that, what do humans do? Does it automatically just make you mad? Because that's what it seemed like to me. When we tired of repeating ourselves, we get aggravated, frustrated, and mad. When we tired of hearing the same repetition of something, we get aggravated, frustrated, and mad. Is the trigger to aggravation being repetitive? Like, is that the trigger? And if you can find that repetition of what it is that's being repeated around you, that awakens that anger, that frustration, that hostility, would you be able to balance your anger? I'm talking to some. I'm asking a lot of questions. It's really the same thing, but it's like the question is trying to awaken the understanding and awareness of your anger, your frustration levels, and being able to manage them. Management is really the topic of today. Because if you can't understand the triggers of why you lose management qualities, how are you able to maintain the growth and the sowing energy that you're trying to get to. Management, self-management, management of others. If you understand that, then you understand that if you can't manage yourself, how you supposed to go into the workforce talking about the highest level that you can reach or you want to attain is management. Yeah, you be talking about, I want to be the manager, I want to be the supervisor. All that is management. So if you don't want to be the quote unquote employee at the lower class level, you're trying to manage, right? So managing, learning how to manage yourself, manage your time, manage your energy, it's going to propel you into the next sowing level. And if you can't manage that, you can't manage your time, you can't manage your energy, you can't manage the way you speak to people in a way that says, I'm calm, I'm collected, and I understand, then how are you expecting to manage the blessings and the increase that is coming to you based on the growth level you are on? And we spoke about this a while ago, how growth is your currency of exchange when it comes to beings and people outside of you. So if the currency is growth, how are you trying to get the increase? How are you trying to get the growth if you can't maintain and manage it? Brother Jay, I see you in the room. I'm gonna let you talk as soon as I can get you into the room. Cause I know you on your break, man.
Hey, peace, and blessings to both of y'all. And man, greetings and salutations, everyone that's listening. I appreciate y'all for having me on. Jojo, I actually was appreciating just listening to you talk because, man, that's the journey I'm on right now. It's growth, and it's growth based, and the growth is the preparation. You know what I'm saying? It's the currency. It's your preparation though, like for the blessings that you have been, asking for, that you've been dreaming about, that you've been seeking. It's only obtained, through growth and through constant effort. Every day, it's a daily action. Like I was telling one of my coworkers, because of course a lot of people they they make it sound as if they're on one path, but their actions show differently. And then I was just saying like, hey, I've curated my feed on YouTube to only, you know, have so many topics on there. So I go through my history. I said it's a good way to find out if you are who you say you are, or if you're, or what journey you're on, or what level you're on. I said just go through your history and see what all you've been planting in your mind, and see what actions you've been doing. Go through your checking account and see what all you've been spending money on and things like that. It's a few places that you can look and see, and it's repetitious. It has to be constant effort and constant motion going towards the levels of growth that you need in order to pursue and achieve certain goals, ideals, and levels of freedom. And a lot of people don't want to, they want the currency, but they don't want to grow to earn the currency. And everything that we do, it takes some action and repetition. It takes that constant action every single day that's going to get you to the levels that you need to be in order to reap the benefits, right? You can't just plant a seed and water it one time and think that that's enough. You got to continue to cultivate and water it and nurture it, and give it the ecosystem needed in order for it to grow and bloom and blossom. And that's where people mess up at, is the fact that they're not willing to make it a continuous effort. They want it that one time. It's just like going to the gym. You want it, you came up with your resolution, you came up with whatever, you finally thought you were sick and tired of being sick and tired, but no, you got to gain 30 more pounds before it's actually time. Because you're going to go in there, you're going to do it one time, you're going to try to diet for one time, and then you're going to give up. I've seen people do this all the time. I just had a coworker that sat here and said, oh yeah, I broke my fast earlier today, and it was for a turkey sandwich, and I don't know, whatever uh, little snack on the side with a bag of chips. I'm like, bro, you can't even call this like you. It's all backwards. Like, right, like, one, you're not even sticking to, the time frames that you're supposed to be intermediate fasting on or whatever like that. Like, that's one. Two, you eat, it's the things that you're intaking aren't conducive to what it is that you're looking to achieve. So you're going to be sitting here wondering, why am I not getting the result that I'm looking to do? Because it compounds. The efforts and the repetition compounds every single day with every single action. And then, of course, the results are going to manifest as a result of that. And if you aren't satisfied with those results, you got to look in the mirror and look at yourself, and so that way you're not wondering why the growth and the whatever it is that you're looking to manifest hasn't manifested. That's all I wanted to add. But I was definitely enjoying listening to you, JoJo, because it was definitely appreciated.
All praises to that increase in energy that you was able to exchange with us. And as I was listening to you, it keep bringing me back to the same thoughts of the lack and increasing of repetition kind of triggers the energy of frustration, of imbalancement. I would say volatility of emotions, because when you think about anger and frustration, it's a up down, and a rapid formation in your energy and in your emotions. And that's when we look at stocks, trades, and charts like that, we call that volatility, right? So you can see the volatility movement in your emotions when you triggered in anger, frustration, and instability like that. It's like instability between negative and positive and neutral. And while listening to you saying repetition, you could stop repeating something and get frustrated. You can repeat something too much and get frustrated. But the control aspect of that is repetition. And if you choose to not repeat, like if you decide that I want to make muscles, right? And you work out, you do 100 push-ups a day over and over. You do that for 100 days in a row, right? Your muscles gonna be, they gonna cap out. They gonna just be like, all right, 100 push-ups only gets us this. Yeah, you repeated it 100 days. Yeah, you keep doing it. Yeah, we see that. But the result is you've maxed out. That's all that 100 push-ups can do for you. That's all what it can look like. That's it. You're gonna do it and then get frustrated in the end. Why I can't get the muscles of this one person over here who go to the gym and use different machines? Why can't I get this result of my body? I'm working out every day. Yeah, but you working out and you haven't changed. Growth is consistently moving and increasing. However, it's always something different that's increasing. It's not always the same. You can't have a tree just growing straight up all the time. At some points of its growth, it let out a branch. At some points of its growth, that branch let out a branch. At some points of its growth, it let out a leaf, it let out a bud. It's balancing itself as it grows. Yeah, it's continuously growing, and that's the repetition form of it. But what does that growth look like? Sister Chocolate, what do you have to say about this conversation?
Yes, I agree with Jay. It's definitely about repetition. Repetition is what helps us to learn things and also, as you said, build muscle. And when it comes to repeating myself, I understand that, right? I understand that it's repetition. That's why I keep saying over and over and over that the wealth is in wellness. That's why I keep telling people that you have to find balance in your wellness to achieve ultimate success and happiness in life, right? Every Monday I focus on emotional wellness with the adults and on the Earth Schoolers platform, and it's really to help and promote management of emotions, right? Because that's where our biggest downfall is, right? That's why we get frustrated. That's why we get angry. Like when our children are saying the same thing over and over, that's why we snap at them, because we don't know how to manage our emotions and dealing with them expressing something over and over and over. Now, when it comes to myself, I realize that, children are children. They have their favorite songs, they do that, whatever. Now, on a different note, though, like if I'm dealing with a friend or somebody and I've expressed to them something, I'm going to remind them one time. maybe twice if it's been a while since I reminded them the first time, but I'm not going to keep repeating myself, because if you are a person who is connected with me in my life, you should be taking out time to get to know me, and you should understand how I act, and you should also be mindful of how you interact with me, right? So when it comes to repeating myself with certain people, I have to set up boundaries. You know what I mean? That's what you have to do. You have to start repeating yourself and say, listen, this is it. Like, I'd already done said this multiple times. That's it, you know? Now, when it comes to business, you're gonna repeat yourself a lot. You know what I mean? And that's just something that you have to do, because the people who are listening to you today, discovering your podcast, or even, following you today, aren't going to be the same people who were following you 2 months ago when you said something, right? Even if you said it 2 weeks ago, by that time you didn't posted how many posts. You know what I mean? People don't go down your feed and look at all your posts over time, right? So when you dealing with people in business, you're gonna repeat yourself probably 1,000, a million times, but that is in order to grow your network and talk to the new people who are connecting to your network. But I'm not somebody who outside of business repeats myself over and over and over. You know what I mean? Once, twice, maybe three times, but I have to cut it off. There has to be a limit, because you sound like a broken record. And then also, if you think about it, if you have to keep repeating yourself to someone and they're not respecting what you're saying, then that's a relationship that you need to distance yourself from, because they're clearly showing you they don't care what you say. They ain't listening, right? So it has to be a limit to when you are repeating yourself to people, or repeating things, right? Even bad habits, you continue to repeat the same bad habit, and then things get worse and worse for you. Or you keep, repeating the same actions, and nothing is happening, nothing is coming back. You're not getting the fulfillment out of it that you need. Then it's time to start repeating that. It's time to start something new, try something different, go a different alternative route.
Man, that was powerful. And I want to piggyback off of that real quick before I gotta go. But and that's something that needs to be discussed too. The negative side of repetition, right? Because it's a positive, it has positive impacts. Like if you go, work out or eat healthy, or, digest certain types of content that are growth in nature, right? Growth oriented in nature, you will get the positive impacts of it. But just like everything else in life, it has duality, the polarity. It has an opposite pole, and just like compounding interest has negative impacts, like someone's APY is someone else's APR, right? Type of deal, like so, or someone's APR or else's APY. It has a negative side to it, and the repetition and the duality of it is if you do certain things repetitiously, right, habitually, then you're gonna get the compounding effects and impact of that thing that you're doing. And then JoJo, to what you said, it was masterfully said too, because growth shouldn't be linear. It shouldn't just be one direction, one thing. You do need, because like you said, you're just doing 100 push-ups, you're not gonna get certain levels of growth. You got to keep tapping into different areas, and it has to be diversified. You have to be diversifying the areas in which you are growing in order to achieve, balance and become a complete, um, what's that called? Like become a complete finished product, right? You have to have those different areas and come up with different, go through different levels and avenues of growth in order to attain certain things. And I definitely am I know that for a fact, because as I'm in my journey of growth, it's spread across different areas, and of course, they all add up to the sum of which it is that I'm looking to achieve. So I just wanted to add that in there before I jumped off, and I appreciate y'all again for having me on.
I'm
Yes, have
always
a
happy
good
to
day.
have you on. Brother Tails, the chocolate, I mean, come on now. My bad. I was gonna say, go take care of the J. We do got a message. I'm gonna let this message hit.
Peace and love and blessings. Namaste. I'm so glad I saw the notification and wanted and had a couple of minutes to stop by. All three, it's a blessing to see all three of y'all together. And once again, the conversation always noteworthy and well time spent. And yes, you do have to put some kind of effort when as we live and move and have our being that and want to see the results in our life. It does take effort on our part. Just continually and consistently being mindful of being in and on soul purpose, which leads just to continual life unfold.
I feel like she got more to say, and I'm gonna just let that. Peace be upon you, Salty Coffee. Glad you could be in the room. And Ling Mashile, Ling Mashile. We're just gonna call you Ling, cause. But anyway, y'all, we out here talking about understanding growth and how to learn how to stop repeating yourself. And I'm over here looking at the coconut trees. So I'm out here in Costa Rica, right? And I have abundance of coconut trees around me. I got one brown and orange, one green, and one yellow. Each coconut tree is growing the same way, right? They go straight up. They don't got branches or anything. They got one head, and that's at the very top. Well, the yellow coconuts, they seem to make an abundance of coconuts. Like they'll make like 30 coconuts per coconut stalk, right? But the green ones will make 12. The green ones, however, come in different shapes and sizes, long or round. The yellows predominantly go in the same kind of long stature. But the brown and yellow ones, they can be real big and round. And they produce maybe 8, right? But the ones that produce 8 stop at a certain height. And the yellows that produce like 30 or something, they can grow as tall as they want to, but nobody collects them because they too tall. And humans, they don't really climb that high to get the coconuts. Those particular trees are most likely cut down because they so high. And when they coconuts fall, it's detrimental to whatever's underneath them. But the green ones tend to be the ones that are high enough to grow and have enough of, and then they start to be collected more. And I'm noticing that the green ones, even though they're collected more, bear more fruit rapidly than the yellows, who they aren't that big, so they're not really collected. And they got a lot of them, but it's just like overbearing to the tree. And the yellow ones tend to lean forward or lean backwards or lean over because they bearing so much fruit, but nobody want to collect them. And the brown and yellow ones, they grow so tall that they have abundance. Like I mean, hundreds of them still stuck in the tree, but nobody collecting the fruit. It's showing me growth in different in different ways, and it's showing me how you can grow the same way. You can all be coconut trees, but you can grow in a way that says, I'm being utilized, I'm repeating the same growth patterns, but nobody's collecting it, nobody's gathering it. I'm repeating the same thing as the tree next to me, but I'm doing it in a certain amount of time or in a certain amount of season, and I'm getting collected. Or you can just be like, I don't give a fuck. I'm growing and I'm doing what I'm doing. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. You can be that brown and yellow tree at the very top, just growing abundantly, growing tall. Everybody see you, but nobody care to collect you. And when they tired of looking at you, they cut you down. And nobody get to bear the fruits of your harvest. A lot of us is like these trees, and the question after that statement to y'all is, which tree are you? Are you the yellow ones that grow long but nobody really want, but at least they get them and they can eat them and they can reach them? Or are you the green one where everybody collects because you in reach? but you don't grow as many fruits as the rest? Or are you the yellow and brown growing tall into where nobody really can reach you, bear your fruit, enjoy you like you should be enjoyed, and cut you down when they tired of seeing you or they tired of seeing you grow? Um, sometimes I'm looking at a lot of trees out here, and you can tell which trees grow roots. You can tell which tree was actually taken off of another tree and planted in the ground, as opposed to being a tree that started from a seed. The trees that start from seeds normally have a good foundation. Their roots is structured and their roots is deep. But the trees that are cut from other trees that's put inside the ground, they grow quickly, they bear fruit quickly, but they not very stable. When the wind blow, they get knocked over. Um, when the wind blow, they always seem like they gonna break, or they lean forward, lean backwards with the wind. But the ones that started from the seed, they don't really move much. They kind of stay founded and grounded. And their repetitious stature is that they grow in roots, branches. They grow up, but they also grow out. As opposed to the ones that's cut from a different tree, they're growing a solid root to try to get foundation first while the top is still growing. And it's kind of unbalanced. And that's why when the wind and the storms come, they get knocked over first, because they don't grow in a repetitious way that's grounding them, you know? And I'm noticing that, like, I'm predominantly a seeded tree. I grow in multiple areas. I'll grow the roots first, and then I'll grow the branches, and then I'll come back and deal with the roots. There are also times though that I won't bear no fruit for a while on purpose, just so I can gain more stability and structure, and my foundation is more solid. I find a lot of people, they work on the root, they work on the fruit a lot. Like, I'm building with this one man, and he builds a lot in the fruit. He's like, show the people the fruit, show the people the harvest, show the people the fruit now. Now show them all they want to know is the fruit. But those that work with him is like, but we not even grounded, but we not even stable. Like, you trying to give fruit out, but you only got 3 roots. If we have a storm come through, or a drop in increase come through, or anything like that, we gonna topple over because you focused on the fruit. And he reminds me a lot of the yellow tree, the yellow coconut tree, building a lot of fruit, but it's not a big piece of fruit. It's not enough for the people to want to climb the tree or harvest the tree, because it's just a little bit of juice inside that coconut. It's not like the green one that got a lot of coconut water in it. And it's not like the brown and red yellow ones at the high point, which has a lot but can't nobody reach. But at least if you could reach, it had enough for you to be like, I felt like I did something right there. I felt like I quenched my thirst. I felt like it was needed, right? Felt like your energy wasn't wasted. It's like the yellow tree. It's just bearing fruit, and it's not even sweet. It's not even enough. It doesn't even quite give you that satisfaction as the other trees do. And it be showing me so much. And I'm just like, we can all be coconut trees, but we don't bear the same type of fruit, you know? Peace be upon y'all all that get to listen here. We just chatting and jiving on what we repeating in our life, and repetition of our life. If you want to find out more information about what we're doing, check out the link here above my head, or click on my face here on Stereo and find out more about it. If you're just now tuning in, we over here also want to tell y'all about the Forest Restoration Project of the Conservation Act of 2025. Yeah, I said 2025, not 2024, because we're coming to the end of 2024. In 2025, we already have the space in which we want to show y'all and give y'all an area to grow and sow your way up and out of whatever situation you're growing in. And we want to move into allocating and building upon the space now. We don't want to so much as say we're looking for it, because in 2024 we was looking for it, right? we found it. Now we want to build and grow on it. We want to acquire it. We want to increase from it, right? So that's where we are with the forest restoration project. We ended the year, and I believe we are at about what 5,000 trees we've planted so far in 2024. Really, yeah, about that. That's about right. That's about right. Because we stopped really focusing so much on planting the trees. We still was planting trees, but we was focusing more on cleaning the plastic waste out of the ocean. And right now we are at 110,000 pounds of plastic waste that have been taken out of the ocean just in 2024 in our efforts to help preserve the environment and the ecosystem around us. So that's good for us at least because we started doing it halfway through 2024, and to be at 100 and what I say 105, we doing pretty decent. At least that's from my end of it. I haven't collected the numbers from all those people who are part of the Meta Environmental Exchange, which is also the Natural News Network. um we haven't collected everybody inside the ecosystem, but I know as far as what I've tallied, that's where we are. We could be more, because we have a good ecosystem and we know that everybody's doing the best that they can to play their part in keeping our environment plastic free, our air and our water clean, and the animals in their habitats. How do we do this? We use different platforms. Ecosia plants the trees. Ocean Heroes clean the plastic. Tree Car plants the trees and they clean the plastic out of the ocean. We also have other platforms that we're utilizing, such as Stretching Hands, which helps clean the ocean, clean the plastic, and clean the soil. We also have Sister Chocolate Gold helping with soil understanding and awareness. And also, she plants the trees and she cleans the ocean. And we know Sister Karen is helpful with the planting of the trees as well. I'm not sure if she's joined the Ocean Heroes yet, but we know that whatever it is, she's doing the best that she could possibly do with the time that she has. Sister Chocolate, what's been going on in your ecosystem?
First, let me say that is amazing. It's so good to hear so much growth and so much success and what we've been doing from the Forest Restoration Project and the Conservation Act to the planting of trees and the removing of plastic. I didn't imagine at the time when we were talking about, you know, the plastic pollution when we had our conversation and on Earth Day, I didn't imagine that we would do so well with reducing the plastic and also with what you've been creating and showing people how to reuse the plastic and so that it's being, recycled and not just thrown in some landfill somewhere or out in the ocean. I think that's so amazing. And what's going on in my ecosystem, Tree is refocusing their efforts over the spring and summer. We were really focused on soil and also with connecting with beekeepers so that we can get some people who could help safely remove beehives instead of people just calling an exterminator and them coming and killing the whole hive. So we were focused on that, but now we're going into the fall season and in the winter season. So we're going to be refocusing our efforts, but we are still going to continue with educating on plastic, helping to reduce plastic use and pollution. We're still going to be talking about soil. Right now, we're doing a plot prep, which is going to get people prepared for the growing season. So we're really going to be teaching about soil and teaching about plants and different things like that so that when it comes to actually do this stuff and put it in practice in the growing seasons, they'll be prepared and they'll have the knowledge to be able to do that. And also, aside from nature and natural practices, Chocolate Seedlings is doing really good. We're building on a lot of different things. Like I said, every Monday we focus on emotional wellness. I gave them an emotional wellness assignment today, and I repurposed that same assignment for the wealth and wellness community because I felt like it was very important for not only us to teach our children how to manage their emotions, but sometimes we got to too, especially being the people who are influencing children. You know, sometimes we have it in our mind that children should do as we say and not as we do. But the reality of it is that's just not how they learn. They don't just learn vocally, they learn a lot from what they see. So if they see you unable to handle your emotions, then they're going to pick up that bad habit. It doesn't matter what you say. And so we were really focused on that today and really just building on a lot of things because we realized that one of the biggest problems with people is they don't understand their own power and their own abilities to do things. And they haven't been given the solutions to the issues that they're having because everybody's trying to give them a quick fix or sign them up for something, or they're going by what the collective already understands. And what the collective already understands is what going to help them. The specialized education of people who are really out here doing these things and digging into these different practices and solutions is what's going to actually help them, right? It's not the people who are getting the quick information or they're getting their information from the school system. And we know the school system is failing us terribly. You can go to the school boards websites and see how terribly our children are doing in the school systems. And so that is our focus on getting the information that's actually going to help and that is not just going to be a quick fix or is going to get them to the next level, but then they be stuck again, right? We coming up with solutions for all of these things, for the environment, for ourselves and our businesses, for finances, for all of these things. So that is what we've been focused on, and that's what's going on in my ecosystem.
All praises in that. Most definitely. Great job to all the things that you're doing. And I hope that those that are listening can chime in and be a part of that with you. Y'all check out that link in Chocolate Gold Stereo profile and join and be a part of what she got going on. We're doing a lot of great things. We're ending this quarter doing a lot of great things, position ourselves to receive. We're doing a lot of things that's going to allow us to increase and others around us to increase. It's not just about what we have and what we're doing or what we're striving to do or what we're showing or what we're bringing awareness to. It's about when it hits others that they're able to do the same, that they're able to grow in similar ways, may not be the same way, but in similar ways, that they're able to utilize what it is that we're showing and doing and take it with themselves and take it through their generations, be they children, their grandchildren, their nieces, their nephews. It's not just about us. It's not just about us going here and talking about it or being here every Monday at 11:11 a.m. Central Time to talk to y'all about this, or Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern Time to talk about it on Financial Freedom Fridays, where we talk about the financial aspect of these, how things cost, what things are moving, what's the currency of life. We're not just talking about financials and fiat currencies. We're talking about the different aspects of currents that move and flow and increase and decrease the things in our life that get us to the points of our growth that we can be proud of, or the points of our growth that we start to lack, but we actually grow from. We're always working on growth in all different levels and aspects, but we don't have all day to talk to y'all about that. We don't got all our life to be sitting here repeating to y'all over and over. Eventually, y'all won't want to come and talk to us if we just gonna repeat the same things over and over to y'all again. We sit here and we make sure that you can have it in different ways, different lights, so that you can take it on into yourself and say, how can I utilize this in my own time and energy, in my own platforms, in my own space. It's not just about what we're doing. That's why I make sure I talk about it in different aspects, the same topic, so that you can see which resonates with you. Because not everything resonates with you, but it kind of is the same thing. Growth. We all growing, no matter what it is that you're doing, no matter what it is that you're striving to get to. Growth is needed in all the aspects of your life. How you're growing is up to you. Where you're growing is up to you. Who you grow with is up to you. And that's predominantly what I want to just end the show out with today. I don't want to hold y'all too long, but yeah, that's basically all I want to talk to y'all about. Sister Chocolate, is there anything else that you would like to share with the people before we get up out of here?
Um, well, again, go to my bio and click that link in my bio. I have updated some things. But other than that, I'll be here on Wednesday for Words of Wellness at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And then, of course, we'll be here on Friday for Financial Freedom Friday at 5 p. EST. Until we connect again, y'all keep sowing and growing and be well.
All praises to that. I want to thank again all those that came in, listening, all those that chimed in. I want to thank Sister Salty Coffee for still being here, Sister Karen, which is also Care Builders, for being in the listening area. All praises to y'all. We're gonna see y'all hopefully next Wednesday with Sister Chocolate for Words of Wisdom. And if not, y'all can catch the replays. Y'all, we don't erase anything. It's here. Well, Sister Chocolate erases some things, but she moved them to another place. It's not really erased. It's just follow the directions that she give y'all in order for y'all to catch the replays. Me personally, I will be uploading my Soulful Tunes from a certain point. I'm not gonna do all of them. I'm not gonna go back into 2020. I'm a go back as far as maybe 3 months ago, and start from there. It's a certain spot I'm looking to reach, but I'm gonna upload them to YouTube so that people on YouTube can be a part of Soulful Tunes and get their replays that way as well. And I might be updating the SoundCloud as well today. That's part of my to-do list. Make sure you get your to-do list is going on. A lot of y'all forget y'all to-do list because y'all be so fixated on this is what I want to do next. And then y'all never really complete or finish or even start half of the things you thought you wanted to do or start. Make your list. Get a notebook out. Get 5 notebooks out if you want. It don't matter. Just write it down so that you can at some point go down your list and check it off and be like, I'm successful and I agreed to these things to myself. And I'm not lying to myself because I agreed to these things and I'm completing these things. A lot of times we lie to ourselves because we don't complete the things we say we're going to complete. It's not that we intentionally do it. It's just we forget that we said these things to ourselves, and it kind of put us in a stagnation away. It kind of makes us frustrated, kind of holds us back when we don't reach our goals because we've forgotten. So don't live in the spirit of forgetfulness. Get on in there, write that stuff down, type it out. You ain't even got to write it down on paper. You can do it electronically. You can do voice messages, voice memos. I personally just like to write it down because I can see it physically outside of my brain. um when I get a voice message kind of thing, it's like outside my brain, but I put it inside another brain. That brain got to think again. It's just too much. Just writing it out for me is helpful. That way I can check it off and say I did it, I started it, I completed it. Next step. And it allows me to see what it is I'm trying to do and see my growth in a different aspect. It's not so much mentally. But anyway, y'all, I'm about to get up off this. Like I said, the link is here. The link is there. Y'all know where to get it from, the information. I'll see y'all next Monday here on Stereo at 11:11 a.m. Central Time. Until then, keep sowing and growing, so on and so forth.